Hi friends, it is me, Lauren Hope of Good Girl Chronicles. How are you today? I am a blogger, mental health advocate, certified peer recovery specialist, motivational speaker, storytelling host, and all around fabulous. I'm going to try to really project my voice. I'm recording this on my iPad because I have just surmised that it is not good to do this on my iPhone. We're not doing it. Stop it, boo. Until I figure out how to, shoot on my camera and edit again. We'll just be doing it this way. But I just want to project because I have heard from some people that the audio is low on some of the vlogs. So this is Boo Bear. My Boo Bear. Oh, Boo Bear. Boo and I have officially been together for a year. I fostered him this time last year, and I adopted him on the 30th. So we're coming up on an adoption anniversary. Whoop, 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 whoop. I love you. I know that's what you want. I am drinking coffee because I'm trying so hard not to take a nap. I have to be to work really early in the morning, which means I need to go to bed early. And if I take a nap, it's just going to throw off my whole sleep schedule. So we have to plow through this. So today, first off, if you love me, Good Girl Chronicles, or just hearing really personal vlogs about love, life, mental health, sex, and everything in between, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you hit the little bell, every time that I upload a video, it will notify you. Can you go away? He's not going to stop bothering me till I finish this. So the last couple of vlogs, I've been talking about my experiences being homeless. And so today, I want to finish this vlog series by talking about what I have learned being homeless. Do you see him? Okay, he's gone now. So I was homeless right about an entire year. And I spent time couch surfing. I spent time hotel hopping when I had the money. And then I ended up in an emergency winter shelter, which is something a lot of cities do. The area churches will open up their sanctuary and let people sleep in the sanctuary at night and then drop them off at a location in the morning. They feed them dinner, breakfast, and then give them a bag lunch. So I did that towards the end of my homelessness. And that experience, being homeless, changed me forever. It just did. I mean, I never thought that being homeless was going to be part of my life story, and because of that, it's just changed me in good and bad ways. In good and bad ways. Like even now, like I'm always like afraid of the bottom falling out. Like I have some opportunities coming my way, and I do want to buy another condo soon, but I'm just like, what am I going to do if I don't make that payment or this? I have this fear of being homeless all the time. And the people that I live with now, like I love them like family. I still just have a fear of being homeless. And so I'm just like trying my best to do the things budget wise, financially, to make a nest egg for myself so I'm never in that situation again. Because if you watch the previous vlog or two over, I had to admit that a lot of the reason I was homeless is because I had no nest egg at all. And so when my parents gave me the boot, like I was like, I had no money to do anything. And so I'm working on that. And I just, God is so good. God is so good. Last year, when I had to leave my job because it was so toxic and mentally I was falling apart again, this amazing family came into my life and they're like, listen, you can come live with us, get back on your feet. And I'm just so grateful for them. So much of what I'm able to do and be in this season of life is because these amazing, loving people let me and my dog move in with them and support us the way that they do. But that is a different story. Oh man, they're amazing. So what did I learn being homeless? There's a lot of things I learned being homeless. I don't want to talk your head off. So I tried to just narrow it down to 3 major things. So the first thing I learned about being homeless is that getting help and government assistance is not as easy as you think. At least it wasn't that way for me. I would say maybe 5 or 6 months into my homelessness, I applied for food stamps. And I was not staying anywhere, And you have to have an address for everything. You have to have an address for a driver's license. You have to have an address. So a friend of mine in Virginia Beach let me use their physical address, but they lived all the way in Virginia Beach. I was all the way in Portsmouth. Like those cities are like 20-30 minutes apart, like in space. And so like they're getting my mail, I'm having to find out a way to get to them to get my mail. I didn't get as much assistance as I thought I would get. I think I got about $180 a month or so for groceries, and that was like just for me. Like, I don't know, I mean, I don't eat a lot, but like that's really not a lot of money in groceries. It was really, really hard. I even I applied for disability because, you know, I wasn't working. I didn't feel really mentally strong. I was rejected from disability, which I'm told that everybody gets rejected the first time, but to contest, to appeal that is like a big deal, and it takes a long time. I met a lot of people in the homeless shelter who like were appealing their disability claims or their social security claims, and it took years. Years. Boo, don't. Hey. So rude. So yeah, getting the help was hard. And then like, you know, now they have food stamps on a little card. I didn't have any shame about having food stamps, but I would go to the grocery store and swipe my little EBT card, and people were like looking at me like some type of way. I'm like, I tried to, there was a program in one of the cities that I was in that helps people who were chronically homeless due to mental illness. And chronically homeless for them meant that someone was was homeless for a year or more due to a mental illness. I was rejected from that program. I mean, it was just tough. Like, I really, really, really tried all of these assistance programs, but the one thing I am thankful for is that I did get food stamps for that small portion of time. Oh, and then girlfriends, I had food stamps recently, but they made a clerical error. And because of that clerical error, they wanted me to pay them back all of this EBT benefits I had gotten for 7 months. I literally almost had an anxiety attack. I had to do all of this crap to contest it, and finally it was like dismissed a month ago. But I say all of that to say that getting help is challenging, and I don't understand. I don't think it's fair that people judge others for being on public assistance and things like that, because sometimes people genuinely need the help, and it's progressively becoming more challenging to get that help. I think in Virginia they're starting to require that you have like a job to get Medicaid or something to that effect, and it's going to become progressively more difficult to get public assistance. I am thankful, however, that I was able to get GAP insurance, which is the governor's access program. It was an insurance through the state of Virginia that helped people with serious mental illness. That has since been terminated, and since our legislator finally expanded Medicaid, I now get Medicaid. But that's a whole nother challenging thing. Like, 1 month I made $100 too much for Medicaid, got cut off. I had to reduce my hours at work so I could get requalified for Medicaid. I just can't wait till I'm in a financially stable place where I can get like a private insurer and I don't have to worry about my insurance being compromised. Because for me, I manage my major depressive disorder with an antidepressant, and I am doing so well on it. I will do anything I can to stay on that medication. So that's one thing that I learned. I definitely don't want to discourage anyone from getting help or whatever. Just for people who've never experienced homelessness or maybe have shamed people who use public assistance, trust me when I tell you, it is no cakewalk. And they make you go through all type of hoops to get this help. So the second thing that I learned about being homeless is just, I felt the judgment and how dehumanizing people can be to people they perceive are homeless. Like, I I always I always went out of my way to like look presentable. One, I was looking for jobs when I was homeless, and two, something about like looking nice and looking put together made me feel better. But there were definitely times like in the area where the winter shelter would pick us up was a part of town where a lot of homeless people were. A lot of people panhandled. There was a lot of people like using drugs out there. Like, I get it. So like whenever we would get off the bus from the pickup, like there was a McDonald's across the street. And this one day, it was in the morning time. I think it was a Sunday that day. And during the day, like a lot of folks don't have anything to do. So I had maybe $5 in my account, and that is no joke. We all walked over to the McDonald's to stay warm during the for a couple hours until this bus was going to pick us up and take us to church. And I said, well, let me just go ahead and get a coffee so they don't give us a hard time about like being in the McDonald's. And most of us bought a coffee. Like those of us who had the money bought like something. We're sitting there, we're talking, we're having a good time. Like, and I guess one of the managers, like someone told her that we were here, and she's like, oh, those homeless people are here. And she came up and told everybody to get out, and she was like shooing us out like we were the scum of the earth. Like, I'm carrying my bag with everything that I have on it, and I was just like, gosh, like, it's like I'm not even a person. Like, we're not even people. It broke my heart. And these men, these really nice dressed men from church came in, and they gave a couple people some money and stuff like that. And I felt so like worthless, you know? And I understood. And that's not the only time that happened. That's just like a memory that's like sticks out in my head, that we were treated less than human because it's clear that we were in this shelter program. And you know, everywhere you went in that city, it would be like no loitering, like, you know, don't use the bathroom for a shower. Like, I get it, but like it's just like all of these things was reminding me that I was like homeless. And so yeah, it's amazing the way that people treated me in this part of town whenever I was like carrying my bags or getting off the bus from the homeless shelter and stuff like that. And I just remember how that felt, and I was just like, you know, if and when I ever get through this, I don't want to ever make anyone else feel that way, because it was very dehumanizing. Which leads me to the next thing that I learned being homeless. God broke my heart for people who were struggling, because I was one of those people. And I just remember so many times praying that, like, God, when you get me out of this situation, I'm going to try really hard to always respond in love and always to be compassionate. So I learned compassion for people. Like, you never know why certain people are on the street. I knew people who were on the street because they were mentally ill, because they were homosexual, because their wives or husbands kicked them out, domestic violence. Like, you never know. And to treat them as less than human because they're homeless is just wrong. It's just wrong. And so being homeless opened my eyes to the heartbreak that so many people are experiencing, like seeing how people are ravaged by addiction and domestic violence and mental illness. And so now I have a heart for those things in a way that I didn't in the past. You know, I'm always trying to find opportunities to give to organizations that I know are helping homeless people right here in our area. I am on the board for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and I'm trying to go everywhere I can to educate people about that. Or even me just going and saying, listen, I was in this shelter program just like you, and I'm out, and there is a way out. Like, there are people that want to help you, which I've done that a couple times too. Last year, with my business, I was able to raise $200 for a women's shelter. And this year, I'm hoping with one of my shows to donate a portion of proceeds to the shelter program. Oh, wait. Yeah, I raised $200 for the women's shelter, and then I raised, I think, $250 for the shelter I stayed in. And I just want to make people more aware. I'm very blessed that I have a audience on social media, which I put air quotes because I feel so weird saying that. I'm extremely blessed that I have a following on social media. So with that, I want to sound the alarm about these things that maybe people don't see every day. Homelessness, mental illness, suicide, addiction. Like, these are things that I think the average Joe doesn't have to concern themselves with, but they should. And so that's part of my mission too, is to bring awareness to those things. And even if people don't give money, that maybe it causes them to pause and say, I'm going to operate different towards the next person I see is struggling. So yeah, that's been like a really, really, really huge thing that I've learned from being homeless. And I'm just going to speak this to life. Hey. No, you come here. Come here. I'm almost done. I'm just going to speak this to life, that God is going to bless me to be a blessing financially to other people. I can't wait for the day that I can go and give the monetary donations to places to really make some real change. For now, I'm going to do it in the best way that I know how and through motivational speaking. But there's going to come a day, Boo Bear. There's going to come a day where I'm going to be able to sow into some amazing organization and amazing people in a large financial way. So, yeah. Hey. So, yeah. So thank you so much for watching these last couple of vlogs on what I learned in my homelessness and kind of about my whole experience. Am I boring you? The next vlog series, I want to talk a little bit more about some of the regrets that I have in love, what I've learned from them, and hopefully just let you know that you are not alone if you have not always made the wisest decisions in love. Before we sign off, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Good Girl Chronicles LLC. I'd love to connect with you. You can also go to my website, goodgirlchronicles.com. As we say here at Good Girl Chronicles, I love you. I love God more. See you next time.